Hello and welcome to a special edition of the Elliot Omanson Show with Elliot Omanson and
Brahian Ramon.
Woo! Weren't you the former opposition leader in Venezuela to Maduro? No, just kidding.
Well,
I'm just getting some random guy that speaks Spanish and I'm claiming he's the...
yeah, I don't want that luck in my life.
No. But we're going to talk about Venezuela today. Quick disclaimer. I am 99.9% of the time against the U.S. military intervention. I don't think we should be going around the country trying to solve anybody's problems. I firmly believe in allowing the problems of people to get so bad they rise up and fix their own shit.
Yeah.
That's my overriding philosophy. But I do like, and we were talking about this earlier, whether it's Soleimani or Baghdadi or Iran and now Maduro, Trump sure seems to have a very different approach to this. It's very fast. It's very quick.
I think this administration has done the cleanest.
You use that term. It is just so clean, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't know at this point in time if I'm, really behind it or not. Like I said, I'm 99.9% of the time against any stuff like this. But Venezuelan people sure seem to be happy.
Yeah. I have a lot of Venezuelan friends that are celebrating, and I saw a lot of posts on social media, and even Nicaraguans and Dominicans and asking for an intervention like this in their countries.
Yeah, right. And you're from where again?
I am from Dominican Republic.
And you're not like your parents are from the Dominican Republic, like you're from the Dominican Republic, right?
Yeah. I just moved here in 2021.
Did you pay a coyote to sneak you over the border in Mexico?
Well, that would have been fun, but I flew here.
You flew here?
Yeah. I went through the process of coming legally.
What?
Yeah.
So you're a privileged.
I will call a privileged immigrant.
Privileged immigrant.
Yeah, I was brought here by white people.
White people. So actually, I want to just kind of let you talk because I loved our conversation at lunch. And I just think it's interesting. Yeah, you're not Venezuelan, but you're from the DR. You have a lot of immigrant friends. In fact, you're the pastor at an immigrant church.
Yeah, that's accurate. Yeah, that's correct.
Spanish-speaking immigrant church.
Yeah, Spanish-speaking immigrant church.
Yeah.
So
just go ahead, free range it. Tell me about your thoughts. Tell me what you hear from the different communities that you're a part of.
Yeah, I'm pretty familiar with the politics of Latin America. I grew up in the Dominican Republic, but I had friends from all over the place. I played baseball for a while, so I had Cuban friends and Venezuelan friends. In fact, I think there was a massive exodus in 2016, and I have friends that we started playing baseball in 2016. And I think from my experience and what I've heard, everyone, most Hispanic and Latino people, they're happy about this because they don't have this guy running the regime. So that's the sentiment is positive. As I was telling you over lunch, I have friends, even Nicaraguan friends. One of them, I thought this is funny, on Facebook, he tagged Donald Trump and he said, "Donald Trump, where are you coming to Nicaragua?" And
he tagged Donald Trump.
They tagged Donald
and asked
Trump.
when he's coming to Nicaragua.
Yeah. There's a dictatorship right now in Nicaragua, and he was, in a funny way, inviting Trump to go there. But that's the sentiment. I think we've had a lot of regimes, and we're, it just doesn't work, is what I think.
Yeah. So I got a question for you. Why do you think it is? I run in very varied circles, especially for somebody of my demographics or whatever. And it doesn't matter if the immigrant is from Iran or Cuba or the DR it's like the majority that I meet are absolutely raving Trump fans.
Yeah, so let's talk about this. There's a regime in Cuba. It hasn't worked.
Yes.
It's okay. This political affiliation or theory, if you wish, it doesn't work in Cuba. It hasn't worked in Venezuela. It hasn't worked even in so the sentiment is that people don't have the opportunity to actually be free individuals, where they can work really hard and give it a job to their family because someone else is making decisions for them.
Now Mondami just stated that he is ushering in an era in New York where they're rejecting the frigidity of individualism and they're embracing the warmth of collectivism.
Yeah, he copied that from Xi Jinping, the president of China. Yeah, he should practice thinking for himself.
You think?
Yeah, that will help him.
Pay dividends. Yeah. So I saw a text message from a Democrat years ago. And I think he was actually posting like a news article where they referred to Maduro as far right.
Really?
Yes.
I'm baffled. That's crazy.
No, according to them, right? Because if you think about it left, what do they all call Trump? A dictator.
Yeah, they do. A king. A king.
A king.
Yeah.
So what in your mind makes Maduro leftist, socialist, communist instead of a right-wing dictator tyrant? Because in my mind, every dictator and every tyrant's a leftist. They're the ones always trying to control everything. They censor you. They want to control the means of production. They want to take all your money and give it to all these people and create all these layers of bureaucracy to siphon it off every other direction.
Yeah,
you just get crushed under the weight of the leftist collectivism, and to me, that's tyrannical. To me, that's dictatorship.
That's exactly what makes him a dictator. Is the collectivism and controlling the means of production and making decisions for people, and not actually allowing people to make their own decisions and choose their own destiny. Actually, right? So they kind of concentrate the production, the means of production, and they don't allow people to make their own choices. They also they want to give people the same the so-called equality while they're living like kings.
Yeah, right. Isn't that? I just saw that New York Post. Mondani at his event where there's no food, there's no bathrooms, people are freezing, and then a picture of his wife in her $635 boots.
Bro, Fidel Castro had a private island.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Like it's just
it's
crazy.
always the same though.
Yeah.
That's what's so funny about it.
So that's what actually made him like a dictator. I know. As I was telling you, my father's friend, when they immigrated to Venezuela, he was a very prominent coach, a trainer. So he will help people get fit and all of that. And then they have to move to the Dominican Republic, immigrate to the Dominican Republic, and he was selling food. There's nothing wrong with that, but he was selling arepas for a meager price. Like,
yeah.
How do you? It's
so in Venezuela, he had a successful career, personal trainer. And then why did he have to leave?
He had to leave when actually the economy started tanking and the prices, the inflation was off the roof.
Oh, yeah.
And then he has to sell arepas to just feed his family. It's like, imagine what that does to your psyche.
Oh,
it's
absolutely.
It's crazy. It's nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, you're also telling me at lunch, like you're telling me a lot about the Dominican Republic's history.
Yeah. Okay. So actually, we had a dictator too back in 1930s, and from 1930s to 1961, Rafael Leonidas Trujillo, he was a dictator, and there was a lot of oppression in the country. He owned all the companies, so we are known for producing sugar cane, and so all the sugarcane companies became part of the state, and it was a very oppressive regime, and then
and every time that happens, right? You look at what's happened in South Africa with removing all the white farmers. I don't think it has anything to do with them being white, but because they were white, the regime took over Zimbabwe before it became Zimbabwe.
Yeah,
stripped all the farmers out, put all these, all these other people into positions. They went from being the breadbasket of Africa to starving.
Yeah,
what you look at. Venezuela, they took control of the oil.
Yeah. To do a very
in DR, they took control of the sugar. Well, yeah, because when you remove the natural
incentive,
the natural incentives, it all turns to shit. And somehow we keep spawning a batch of people that aren't like. I don't know if our educational system is. I mean, I think it's garbage, but I don't know if it's must just be just worthless. Like. That in fact we just keep creating generations that don't understand any of this, don't know any of it.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be different this time.
So I have the opportunity to also be on the nonprofit world, and I actually worked for a church for a few years, and we were trying to help the homeless community. But I think the biggest problem is that when you give people stuff for free, they develop this kind of entitled and parasitical mentality where they don't have to do anything, because it's going to be given to them. You have to earn it. And we can talk about that later. But like in 1961, the military organized to kill this president, this dictator in my country. And so there was another guy, Juan Bosch. He was on exile in Cuba, and he founded two of the most popular parties in my country, the Dominican Revolutionary Party and the Dominican Liberation Party. And he was president for 2 years or 2 years and a half, and he was trying to implement a socialist state in my country, right? We're coming out of a dictatorship.
Yeah.
He thinks being a socialist is going to work.
Yeah.
So then we had a military intervention by the United States in 1963 because people were upset. This guy was wanting to give equal access to education, healthcare. He wanted to take money for people that were actually working and creating opportunities for themselves, and it just didn't work. So the military from the United States helped Joaquin Balaguer become the president, and actually things changed, the cost of living, like the culture changed, and so many things happened. And I think
in a good way?
In a good way, in a great way. Like if you have access to education and there's job creation and people can create their own opportunities and there's people are starting businesses, right? And like you actually understand the economic incentive and people have the freedom to trade, right?
Yes.
That's the moral of capitalism. The freedom
absolutely.
to trade. The individual freedom to make your own choices. I think that's what changed the outlook, and actually that's the reason, in my opinion, why we have a democracy in Dominican Republic. And I think the big thing is that people don't talk about that. They just talk about the bad things, right? Or I remember,
because nowhere is the DR being used as an example of the U.S. military intervening and a democracy coming from it
and being successful.
Yes,
right.
Yes,
being successful, and we having a democracy today because of the intervention in 1963.
Yeah,
crazy to me.
That's
Crazy
awesome. All right, well, we got to end there because we got into this late, but we're gonna have you back on and we're gonna go for hours.
Yeah, let's do it.
This is awesome.
Thank
you.
We can talk about the CCP and all of that.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right.
Let's rock.
Awesome. This is fantastic. Thanks,
Thank you
Brian.
for having me.
Oh, yeah.